Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into some of the most shocking historical mistakes that ended in bloodshed. You won't believe some of these. We're talking colossal blunders, massive military miscalculations, and just plain bad luck. Get ready to be shocked, because some of these events changed the course of history. Make sure you stick around until the end, because we're counting down to the biggest historical fail of all time. 11. Picture this. You're a soldier in the Crimean War, fighting for your country. You're facing down the enemy, cannons are booming and the air is thick with smoke. Then you get the order to charge, straight into the mouth of the enemy's artillery. That's what happened to the Light Brigade, and it's all because of a miscommunication. Imagine being one of those 600 soldiers, the ground shaking beneath your horse's hooves as you charge headfirst into a valley of death. Cannons are roaring, raining down fire and fury, and your comrades are falling all around you. It was absolute chaos. The order to attack the wrong position was a disaster. It's like trying to order pizza and accidentally telling them to deliver it to the wrong address. Except instead of pizza, it's hundreds of lives lost. The charge of the Light Brigade became a tragic example of bravery in the face of overwhelming odds, but it also highlights the importance of clear communication in the fog of war. It's crazy to think that a simple mistake could lead to such a devastating loss of life. The charge of the Light Brigade is a reminder that even the smallest details can have huge consequences in the grand scheme of things. 10. Overconfidence can be a dangerous thing, especially on a battlefield. General Custer learned that the hard way at the Battle of Little Bighorn. Imagine underestimating your enemy, thinking you have the upper hand, only to be completely wiped out. Custer and his men were outnumbered, outmaneuvered, and ultimately outgunned. The Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho warriors, led by Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse, fought like their lives depended on it, because they did. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating content. We're about to dive deeper into Custer's last stand and the factors that led to this historical turning point. This battle wasn't just a defeat, it was a massacre. Custer's misjudgment and underestimation of his opponents cost him and his men their lives. It's a stark reminder that even the most experienced leaders can make fatal errors in judgment. 9. We all know the story of the Titanic, the unsinkable ship that tragically sank on its maiden voyage. But what if I told you that the disaster could have been avoided? That's right, the Titanic received multiple warnings about icebergs in the area, but chose to ignore them. Can you imagine being on that ship? The excitement of a new journey turning into sheer terror as the unsinkable ship starts to sink beneath the waves? The band played on, people scrambled for lifeboats, and the icy Atlantic swallowed the ship whole. The Titanic's sinking wasn't just a maritime tragedy, it was a stark reminder that even the most advanced technology can't conquer nature's fury. It's a story of hubris, human error, and the fragility of life. What's even more tragic is that there weren't enough lifeboats for everyone on board. That's like going on a road trip with only half a tank of gas and no gas stations for miles. The Titanic's story is a chilling reminder that even in the face of progress, we must never underestimate the power of nature, or take safety for granted. 8. The Battle of Antietam, America's bloodiest day. The American Civil War was a time of immense turmoil and bloodshed, and no single day embodies that more than the Battle of Antietam. This battle, the bloodiest single-day battle in American history, was a result of poor strategic decisions on both sides. Imagine the horror of that day, brother fighting brother, the ground littered with dead and wounded. Over 22,000 soldiers lost their lives in a single day of fighting. It's a stark reminder of the brutal reality of war and the devastating consequences of miscalculation. The Battle of Antietam was a turning point in the Civil War, but it came at a horrific cost. It's a somber reminder of the human toll of war and the importance of clear strategic thinking in the face of conflict. 7. Chapter 5. The Bay of Pigs Invasion. A failed mission, a bloody aftermath. The Cold War was a time of high tension and global chess matches, and the Bay of Pigs invasion was one of its most embarrassing blunders. This attempt to overthrow Fidel Castro's government in Cuba was a complete and utter disaster, and it all boiled down to poor planning and execution. Imagine being one of the Cuban exiles who landed on those beaches, hoping to liberate your country, only to be met with fierce resistance and abandoned by your American backers. It was a recipe for disaster from the start. The Bay of Pigs invasion wasn't just a military failure, it was a political embarrassment for the United States. It solidified Castro's grip on power and pushed Cuba further into the arms of the Soviet Union, escalating Cold War tensions even further. The Bay of Pigs invasion teaches us that even with the best intentions, a poorly planned and executed operation can have disastrous consequences. It's a reminder that meticulous planning, adaptability, and a realistic assessment of the situation are crucial for any successful mission. 6. The Battle of Stalingrad, a city reduced to rubble. The Battle of Stalingrad, one of the deadliest battles in human history, was a brutal clash of ideologies and military might. This battle, fought street by street and house by house, was a prime example of strategic errors leading to unimaginable devastation. Imagine the horrors of urban warfare, buildings reduced to rubble, the stench of death hanging in the air, and the constant fear of snipers and artillery fire. The Battle of Stalingrad was a living hell for both sides. Hitler's obsession with capturing the city bearing Stalin's name proved to be a costly mistake. The German army, ill-prepared for the brutal Russian winter, was slowly but surely ground down by the relentless Soviet defense. The Battle of Stalingrad marked a turning point in World War II, but it came at an unimaginable cost. It's a grim reminder of the human cost of war and the importance of adaptability, logistical planning, and a realistic understanding of your enemy's capabilities. 5. The Fall of Constantinople. One mistake, an empire lost. The year is 1453. Constantinople, the mighty capital of the Byzantine Empire, stands as a beacon of civilization for over 1,000 years. But its defenses, once impenetrable, are about to be breached, all thanks to a single, seemingly insignificant mistake. Imagine the chaos as Ottoman forces, led by the ambitious Sultan Mehmed II, finally breached the city walls after a 7-week siege. The defenders, outnumbered and exhausted, fight valiantly but are ultimately overwhelmed. The fall of Constantinople wasn't just a military defeat, it marked the end of an era. The Byzantine Empire, the last vestige of the Roman Empire, crumbled after more than a millennium of existence. It's a stark reminder that even the mightiest empires are not invincible. A single oversight, a momentary lapse in judgment can have catastrophic consequences that reverberate through history. 4. The charge of the 20th Maine, holding the line at Gettysburg. The Battle of Gettysburg was a pivotal moment in the American Civil War, and the fate of the Union hung in the balance. Amidst the chaos and carnage, a seemingly insignificant unit, the 20th Maine Volunteer Infantry Regiment, found themselves at the center of a desperate struggle. Imagine the courage of those men, low on ammunition, facing a relentless Confederate assault. Their commander, Colonel Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain, orders a desperate last-ditch maneuver, a bayonet charge down the slopes of Little Round Top. The 20th Maine's charge was a pivotal moment in the Battle of Gettysburg, their bravery and determination helping to secure a crucial Union victory. It's a testament to the courage and resilience of ordinary men caught in extraordinary circumstances. This desperate charge, against all odds, helped to repulse the Confederate advance and secure a crucial Union victory. It's a testament to the impact that even a small group of determined individuals can have on the course of history. 3. The sun beat down on the plains of South Africa as the British Empire, confident in its military superiority, faced off against the Zulu Kingdom. The British, armed with modern rifles and artillery, vastly underestimated their opponents, and the consequences would be dire. Imagine the shock and horror as Zulu warriors, armed with spears and shields, swarmed the British positions, their sheer numbers and ferocity overwhelming the technologically superior force. The Battle of Inanda was a stark reminder that courage and tactical ingenuity can sometimes trump technological superiority. The British defeat at Inanda sent shockwaves through the empire, shattering the myth of British invincibility. It's a stark reminder that underestimating your opponent, no matter how technologically inferior they may seem, can have devastating consequences. 2. The year is 1915. World War I is raging and the Allied powers are looking for a way to break the stalemate on the Western Front. Their solution? A daring naval attack on the Dardanelles, aiming to capture Constantinople and knock the Ottoman Empire out of the war. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but it turned into a costly disaster. Imagine the horrors of trench warfare, the stifling heat, the constant threat of disease, and the relentless enemy fire. The Gallipoli Campaign was a nightmare for the soldiers who fought and died there. The Gallipoli Campaign was a strategic blunder of epic proportions, resulting in heavy casualties for both sides. It's a reminder that even the best-laid plans can go awry and that underestimating the challenges of amphibious warfare can have devastating consequences. And here it is, number 1. The Battle of the Somme, one of the bloodiest battles in human history, stands as a chilling testament to the futility of war and the devastating consequences of miscalculation. Over 1 million casualties, months of brutal trench warfare, and for what? A few miles of mud. Imagine the terror of that first day, July 1st, 1916, as British soldiers laden with heavy packs went over the top of their trenches and into a hail of German machine gun fire. It was a massacre. The Battle of the Somme was a prime example of attrition warfare, where the goal was to inflict more casualties on the enemy than you sustained. It was a brutal, grinding battle of attrition that achieved little strategic gain. The Somme was a meat grinder, chewing up and spitting out the lives of young men from all sides. It's a stark reminder that war is never glorious, that victory often comes at a horrific cost, and that sometimes the bravest act is to seek peace. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating historical content. See you next time. From miscommunications to overconfidence and underestimation, the mistakes we've explored today highlight the fragility of human judgment and the devastating consequences that can arise from even the smallest oversights. It's a reminder to learn from the past, to approach challenges with humility and careful consideration, and to always strive for peaceful solutions whenever possible. Remember, history is filled with valuable lessons, and by understanding the mistakes of the past, we can hopefully create a better future.